go?
My name is Michael Chu. I'm the division manager for New Jersey. I started with the company back in 2003. I graduated from GW. I'm at $7 million in career sales, and outside of Vector have spent most of my life training in karate and different types of martial arts and competing nationally.
Awesome. Okay, so Mike, a question that a lot of reps have asked in the past is, how do you stay motivated? So in your Vector career, what's the best advice you can give for staying constantly motivated?
Sure. I think staying motivated is hokey sometimes, and that's what causes reps to not be motivated. It's like, what's motivation? It's like a feeling. It's like, oh, I'm motivated now. And motivation, I find, for me personally, I'm not an extremely motivated person. I just find I'm extremely disciplined towards working towards what I want. So I tell reps, stop trying to get motivated, get active. That's what I tell my reps. Make a plan and just execute it. And knowing why you're working, having a clear, defined plan and a goal. So then what do I do to stay on point every day and to stay disciplined is just preparation for the day. Just like when I did with karate, before a competition, I would envision the event, I'd prepare, my what off and work hard up and, throughout the event and leading into the event. And then I would, obviously self-talk is important, because there's times where I'm not quote-unquote motivated, but my challenge to myself is to give 100% all the time. And even when I'm not feeling on, but the second it's go time, the second it's time to step inside the ring, that I got to perform at 100%. And so things like self-talk, but I also find self-talk is more powerful when you write those things down. Affirmations that we say to ourselves, like, I'm great, I'm going to do awesome. It's one thing to say it a few times, it's another thing to write it down. And when you start writing it down daily or writing it down weekly and then saying to yourself a few times, it becomes more real to you. To the point where I feel you no longer need motivation, it just becomes part of who you are, it becomes part of your habits, and that starts to lead to daily disciplines, weekly wins, monthly wins. Before you know it, it's just part of who you are.
Awesome. Can you give an example of an affirmation that has been powerful for you in the past, or something that you write down when you're not feeling motivated?
Sure. The first half of my affirmations are oftentimes just appreciative. So even when things are going wrong, as a division manager, I don't have a perfect life. I don't have everything going well. So it's just getting appreciative for where I'm at in my life, what I have. So for example, say I'm happy, I'm healthy, I love my life. I love my team, I love my family, I love the people in my life, and I love what I'm creating for myself and those around me.
Awesome.
So sometimes just appreciative and writing those types of things down. I have great cousins, I have great family, I have great friends, and just a lot of times it's people focused and getting off of getting off self and getting focused on other people. Then it'll be things like I'm going to have a $1 million year, a $6 million division. So the business stuff I'll start to say, and I'll say, I'm great, I'm the best recruiter, I'm the best developer, I'm the best district manager, and things that aren't necessarily always true, but for me to start to believe those things and act that way in accordance with those things until it does become true. So that's on a business side, but then even some of the daily affirmations, because if we make Vector everything, you lose motivation. So some of those affirmations will be, I'm a great son. Right? I'm a great brother, I'm a great friend for people, I'm going to be in a vibrant relationship with all the people in my life, an amazing relationship with a significant other, so things related to that as well.
Excellent, that's great. And when you have a big goal in front of you, what do you often do to prepare? Can you go into a little bit more on that? So we talked about affirmations. Can you talk about breaking down a large goal into small pieces?
Sure. Yeah, the affirmations I find the affirmations seem really hokey as well if the goals that you're working towards is not something that means something to you. So if I have a big goal, I make sure I clearly know why I'm doing what I'm doing. And same type of exercises, I'll write down 20 and 50, and if I'm still not feeling it, I'll challenge myself to write 60, 75, 100 reasons why that goal is important to me until I find something that I can actually grasp onto. And it normally takes 50 to 75 reasons to write until I actually grasp onto it. Because at first you just write money, I get to buy this and I'm happy, and it's just very vague until it starts to become really defined. I can take that money and donate to this, or I can share it with family in it. It becomes things that are actually more meaningful to me. So I find wise. Then I accept the fact that everything's not going to go perfect, so I decide ahead of time that that's the case. And I refuse to give up along the way, and know that those things are going to happen. And then from there, just execute on a daily basis.
Awesome. Thank you. And I think the last one here, can you give an example of a time when you had to stay motivated through a challenge, maybe as a manager, and then also a story about a rep taking on challenges?
Sure, absolutely. To piggyback off of what I was just talking about, though, it's easy to give up on big goals when you feel like it's just not worth it anymore. So something I also do to make sure I'm prepared for a big-time professional goal is to make sure that I'm excited and I feel fulfilled in other areas of my life. And so before a big push period or before a big month or a big campaign, I make sure I also have my plan for personal health, like how many days I'll be at karate, how many days I'll be at the gym. I make sure I have days planned where I know I'll eat dinner with my family or breakfast with my mom on certain days. So I make sure that other areas in there, that my reading plan and personal development is in there. So this way, when crazy things do happen, I know that I'm committed. I think of Rob Brandt, one of my FSMs, both pushes this summer. SC1, his grandfather died. And it could have been very easy for him to use that as his reason not to succeed, and had a $25,000+ push period. And then SC2, this time around, he got into a 3-car accident, totaled his car, and he used that as his reason to have a great push period again as well. And crazy things happen. I think of, as a district manager, 2 specific scenarios. One was a breakup with a girlfriend, which I think some people can relate to, and being able to stay mentally focused when you're at the office and focused on people starts with those daily disciplines. And a second one would be that maybe some people can or not relate to, but something extreme, and everyone has a different extreme example. Was one of my best childhood friends was murdered. And I remember having to go to a Wednesday team meeting that very same day. And sitting in my car for 20 minutes doing like affirmations, like I love my life. It's like, I love my life. My friend just got murdered, right? But being able to attach what was important to me and why I was doing what I was doing.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike.
My pleasure.